Happy Monday, 8th grade. Here's your problem of the day. It says the area of the square is 36 feet squared. These little lines here mean that all the sides are the same and that it's a square. It's not a rectangle. So figure out how long the sides are. How long is X? Pause the video, give it a shot. All right, I'm guessing some of you put 9. 9 is not the answer. If the perimeter was 36, then yes, you would divide by 4 to get 9. But that's not what this is. It says the area is 36. So that means we need to find something times something equals 36. And both of those numbers have to be the same. So, or another way to write this, the square root of 36. Right? Or x squared equals 36, right? All of these work and they all give you the same answer, which isn't 9. You don't divide by 4, and you don't divide by 2 either. It's not 18. It's 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6. Find the square root of each side, and you get x equals 6. So the answer is 6. Now, could this be negative 6? No. And the only reason these can't be negative 6 is because we're talking about an actual picture. You can't say a room is negative 6 feet long, or a square is negative 6 feet long. You can only do it abstractly. So it doesn't work with something real like this. All right. So today we're moving on. We're going to talk a little bit more about square roots. And we're going to talk about square roots that don't come out perfect. These are called perfect roots because it's exactly 6 times 6 is 36. The ones we're going to talk about today are not perfect. All right, so write down notes for 9:14. And we're going to talk about our objective is non-perfect roots. Alright, so we're going to write down what all the basic square roots are. I want you to write this in your notebook. I want to start memorizing these things. Just the first 10. So we know the square root of 1 is 1 times 1. Square root of 4 is 2 times 2. Square root of 9 is 3. And on and on. We'll go up to 12. All right, so these are our first 12 perfect roots. All right, and 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. It's that simple. And this is, so we need to figure out what we're going to learn today is what happens if it's not a perfect root. So for example, if I asked you what is the square root of 5? Well, there is no square root of 5. No exact perfect answer to that. It's what's called an irrational number. Like we learned in 7th grade, pi is an irrational number. 3.1415926, and it goes on and on and on and so on and so forth. All we're going to figure out today is the square root of 5. Well, it's not 2, that's too small, and it's not 3, that's too big. So it's somewhere in between 2 and 3, all right? So all we're going to do is we're going to say that 2 is less than the square root of 5, and 3 is greater than the square root of 5. So you're just saying that it's in between 2 and 3, all right? So we'll just do that. We'll write it for today. We're just going to write the square root of 5 is in between 2 and 3. Somewhere in the middle of there, right? Square root of 5 is somewhere here, right? in between 2 and 3. And then we're also going to write that it's an irrational number. There's no two numbers you can multiply to get 5. I mean, you could do 1 times 5, but two numbers are the same, like 2 times 2 or 3 times 3. There is no number. It's some long, ridiculous decimal that goes on forever that we can't figure out. No one can figure out. It goes on forever, just like pi. All right, so pretty simple stuff. As long as you have this chart in front of you, it makes these pretty easy. So if I asked you what is the square root of 40, you'd say, well, 40, 40, 40. I don't see it here, right? But it's bigger than this and smaller than this. So you would say it's bigger than 5. It's between 5 and 6, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Between 6 and 7, right? I'm sorry. I messed that up. Between 6 and 7. Square root of 40 is somewhere here, right? And you would say it's irrational, right? You could just write IRR. That's the abbreviation for irrational. And we'll learn more how to get closer so we can figure out, is it 6.2, is it 6.7, what's it close to? And we'll start estimating those later. But for now, that's all I want us to do, is to estimate these. So let's do 1 or 2 more. We'll do square root of 120. Well, somewhere over here, right? It's bigger than this one. It's bigger than 10, but it's smaller than 11. All right, so if I asked you, which one do you think it's closer to, 10 or 11? Which one's 120 closer to? It's closer to this one, right? It's only one number away. So it's closer to 11. So we could circle the 11 and say it's pretty close to that one. If we wanted to do that. Say which one's closer to. And then we can write irrational, right? Okay. Pretty easy stuff today. That's all there is for today. Get your